thank you for joining us today. We will pass over to our host and our speakers very shortly once a few more people have logged on. So I will pass over to Wilma to welcome everybody in.
Thank you, Beth. A very warm welcome to all of our students to this webinar. This is an information session presented particularly to address all of your questions and queries and doubts. So today we will be talking a little bit about, obviously, some great USPs about different faculties that we have representation from here. And we will also open it out to a lot of your questions and answers. So that is also the main aim of this session today. So I appreciate that some of you may be offer holders, conditional, unconditional. Some of you may be waiting for a decision from the university. So our team is here today to help you and expedite that process for you if you tell us what your query is exactly. So just a round of introduction so that you can put a face to a name. My name is Wilma, and I'm the South Asia Regional Manager at the University of Plymouth. And today we have very good representation from all the three schools in the Faculty of Arts, Humanities, and Business. We've got all our international leads from the Business School, from the School of Law, Humanities, and Social Sciences, and also from Art, Design, and Architecture. So wherever your course falls, I think we've got the right people to address your questions. I will now ask the team to quickly say a hello and before we start the session. So over to the faculty representative first, Beth, and then we can follow with the international leads as well.
Yeah, hello everyone. So my name is Bethany Hodnett. I work in the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Business. Some of you may have emailed correspondence with me before. So myself and my colleague Toon are supporting the webinar today, but we also will be your support when you arrive as well. So we manage our faculty social media for international student advice and support. We also do events as well throughout the year to help support your student experience while you're here, and have an international student committee as well. So lots going on. So hopefully I will be a face that you will see soon when you join us in Plymouth.
Thanks, Beth. Richard, do you want to go next?
Yeah, thanks, Wilma. So good afternoon, good evening to everybody. So my name's Richard Parkman. I'm the Associate Head of Plymouth Business School for International and Partnerships, and my other daytime job is that I'm an Associate Professor in Management. So I'm looking forward to having a conversation and answering any questions today, but equally look forward to welcoming anybody who's wishing to come to Plymouth for September start.
Thanks, Richard. Next, can we have Shabnam?
Hi, everybody. Really lovely to be here and a pleasure to take part in this. My name is Dr. Shabnam Holliday. I'm Associate Professor in International Relations in the School of Law, Humanities and Social Sciences, and also the Internationalization Lead for that school. So I work with our colleagues here, and I also look forward to welcoming you and getting to know you in Plymouth. Thank you.
Thanks, Shabnam. Next, can we have Gianni?
Thanks, Vilma. Hi, everyone. My name is Gianni Corino, and I'm the Associate Professor in Interactive Media here in the School of Art, Design and Architecture, and I'm also looking after our international partnership and agreement. And as for my colleague, I will really look forward to welcome you in Plymouth when it's happening in September.
Thank you. Next, can we have Kiran from my team?
Hello, everyone. My name is Kiran Matangi, and I work with the South Asia team supporting admissions from India and Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Right, I think we've got everyone covered, and so let's kick off the session. Just some housekeeping rules. We've got a nice Q&A access. So for those of you who have questions while we are presenting, you can put them down in the Q&A box. If you can't find it for some reason, there's also the chat box, so you can chat to one of us, and we will obviously get back to you. And at the end of the session, we will also share our email addresses. So if you would like to talk to us a little at length later on, that's also fine. So you can email us with your student reference number and we can call you back or we can email you back. So over again to you, Beth, to start the session.
Yeah, so I think first up is our Plymouth Business School. So Richard's going to talk us through a bit about the facilities and the school, and what you might expect when you come to us in Plymouth.
Okay, so welcome everybody once again. Just to tell you a little bit about the business school. So as you can see on the slide, that's a photograph of our new business school, which we're very proud of. We moved into the Fitzroy building uh, just over 18 months ago, so at the start of 2024, I believe. I can't remember, maybe 25. Lost track now of time. But anyway, it's an almost brand new building, purpose-built business school with teaching spaces, shared spaces for students to work collectively or independently, quiet rooms for students to undertake work as well. We have an entrepreneurship and innovation centre, the Cube, in the building as well. The significant part of our building, or the point of our building, whilst it's almost brand new, it is in the center and the heart of the campus. So not only are we not only are we metaphorically at the center of the university, we are also physically at the center of the university as well. So again, it's a truly city center campus. And all your academics and all the academics for the business school, so anybody that will be teaching you or supervising you or working with you, will be located and are located in that building. It's a 3 to 5 minute walk from the city centre, and the university's accommodation is also within between 5 to 15 minutes, depending on where the accommodation that you may be interested in. But again, the business school, we take a real philosophy around sort of work-based skills as well as theoretical underpin. So all our programs are developed around what is it the job and the ambition that you aspire to. So again, we provide you with the skills, the behaviors and characteristics of those roles, as well as underpinning through critical theory and educational models to help develop your understanding of the particular sector that you're working within. So again, the business school, our main aim is to ensure that you meet and get the jobs, the careers, and meet your aspirations and your ambitions that you're hoping to achieve by the time you leave us. So we have these sort of critical points that we want graduates to have, so that you're good employees, you're curious employees, you're financially and commercially astute employees as well when you leave us. This slide says, we've got the Cube. So if you plan and you have that entrepreneurial spirit, we have the Cube within Fitzroy building, where they can help and work with you as students and graduates to develop your innovative and entrepreneurial idea. So it could be that you want to start your own business, but as well as that, staff, colleagues and support staff within the university will help you around your employability and your career aspirations. I won't say too much more because the questions and answers are probably the main focus of today, but that's a bit of an overview of the business school. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so next up is Gianni for the School of Art, Design and Architecture.
All right. Okay. Hi, everyone. Really happy to be here to present my school, which has kind of a broad set of subject. We go from the more artistic subject of fine art and performance and music to the other end, to something a bit more technical with building and construction, build environment and construction, which are actually BSc program. And in between, I think there's quite a good range of program that works around design as the main focus in different way, from the traditional product in industrial design to design applying to digital technology and game design, and then also going into architecture and interior design as well. So a lot of creative expertise across the school, and with a big focus on the Korea Tech, as they call it, although the name is a little bit difficult, which mainly means that the digital technology are heavily embedded in all our practice and in all our approaches across all these disciplines. So this is something that is also reflected in the facility, which I will mention shortly. In terms of the programs, as they are all mainly around in practice and creative practice. Of course, there's a lot of hands-on activities and workshop activities that are happening in each of those programs, together with a strong link with the industry that could happen in some program through an optional placement here, or some internship that we help the student to secure, or through some exchange with other university, and also with individual module in the different programs that could help you develop your own practice as an entrepreneur, and so help you develop your business plan and all the instrument that you need to move into your own business, or as an individual artist or designer. So this is more or less the what we cover as a school. In terms of the facility, our home base, our main home is actually not behind me. This is the Smith on Tower, but it's actually behind Richard. So if you, that's our iconic. Thank you, Richard. That's our iconic building that is right at the edge of the city center. So you cross the road and you are in the core of the city. And this building is where most of our staff and our teaching space and labs are. And is really majestic and iconic, not just for the university, but for the city itself. There's also we also have an art gallery, and then probably in the school in the faculty, we are the school that has a bigger footprint in terms of workshops and labs. So we have in the main building the immersive media lab, which is mainly focused on data visualization and immersive technology and motion capture and animation. We have the digital fabrication lab, which is another cross program facility with all the latest technology for digital printing and with wood, plastic, and metal. And then in other building, but just all around this, our main one, we have the Scott building and the Babbage building, where all other set of facility are like the Media Hub, where the students can borrow camera, light, microphone, everything that is needed for filming and audio recording. We have also the print press for everybody that is doing illustration or graphic design. And we have specific wood and metal workshops in conjunction with the engineering school. So I think, I don't know if I give an overall overview, but we will have the Q&A later, so happy to answer any further question if you have.
Thank you, Gianni. That was great. And last but not least, Shabnam, do you want to give an overview on your school?
Sure. So it's a great pleasure to talk to you about the School of Law, Humanities and Social Sciences. We're the school that deals with the complexity of society in which the creative arts and also business exist. So we are a vibrant school. We have a growing international and student body, which is alongside an established UK based. Our ethos is to provide subjects that are essential to today's societies and communities. So, while society is a complex thing, we have several programs in international relations, history, law, criminology, and education, which are basically designed to make sure that we deal with latest issues in society. For instance, we've just launched a new suite of LLM programs. So we have business law, environmental law, international law, and maritime law. We've also, in international relations, launched a Middle East module, another one on Asia. And these are basically based on the research that we've done in terms of what is required and what is popular to study. So our degrees are very much rooted in the real world and are taught by dedicated staff. So everybody that you will be learning with are either experts in their discipline, in practice, or in their research. But at the same time, it's really important that while you have the academic curricula, to think about how you apply that in the next stage in your journey in terms of employability or in the workplace. So while we provide a very comprehensive academic curricula, we get you to think about the transferable and employability skills that are relevant for the workplace as well. So, as I said, we provide cutting edge teaching taught by leaders in their fields. We also provide an interdisciplinary research environment that is linked to contemporary dynamics. So, for instance, recently we paired up with our colleagues in the business school to address the impact of global geopolitics on business, such as issues relating to Ukraine and Russia. Also, we did a session to address the impact of the Iran and wider Southwest Asia war, which was very popular amongst our student body. So, in terms of the teaching and the way we teach, our pedagogy is very much based on what we would call in the business experiential learning. So that means we really encourage our students to think for themselves in the classroom. So that's based on a lot of interactive seminar-based activities, and encourage students to discuss with each other. Also, we are known for our simulations and role play exercises. So this allows students to enact actors in the international system or in the legal world or wherever to think about how they are going to deal with issues or what it's like to actually be in that position. So overall, that gives you kind of a sense of the variety of the School of Law, Humanities and Social Sciences, and which is very much part of the faculty. And I'll stop there so we have plenty of time for questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our speakers. As you can see, it's quite a broad and diverse faculty covering quite a wide range of disciplines. So yeah, thank you for kind of to our speakers for putting that in a nutshell. So we're going to the question part of the session now. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions when you registered. Please be reassured we're going to try and get through as many as we can today, but anything that we aren't able to deal with online, rest assured we'll be going through all those questions and emailing you directly afterwards. I can see the chat is starting to liven up, but what I will do is I've picked out a few of your questions from the registrations that I was just kind of going to start with to get the ball rolling. So just our speakers, our panel for today, if anyone has an answer to any of these questions that are coming up, please feel free to unmute yourself and let our applicants on the call know. So to begin with, I just wanted to ask a little bit about, so when will these applicants get to meet other students from their course, get their timetable and meet with their academics? So yeah, does anyone want to sort of help with that question?
Sure, I can go ahead. So we have what we call an induction week, which is the week that starts before the actual teaching starts, and in that you'll meet the other students, and also the academic staff that will be teaching you, and it'll also be a good way to learn about what else is going on in the university and access to skills and things like that. So the timetable, and so that week is also when you get your timetable, and your academic staff will go through the timetable with you during induction week and help you with any questions or concerns. Alongside that, there are social events, both informal and formal, which allow you to get to know the other students on your programs.
That's great. Thank you, Shabnam. So yeah, the key thing is just look out for your emails. There will be information coming through from your relevant programs that will give you information on when your course induction is, when your start date is. Typically, inductions happen after our International Welcome Week happens. So you sort of have a bit of time to kind of orientate yourself, get to know the city, get yourself settled from your various flights and travels, and then then the getting to know your course mates, your academics will happen after that. Richard, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, and just to sort of add to what Shabnam says, with it specifically in the business school, we will also be running an international induction event as well. So that will appear on your timetable or on the timetable for that induction week period. So you meet your classmates, you meet your tutors and lecturers and professors, but also as part of that, we run an event where you will meet other international students as well, because there'll be things that are specific to you as international students in Plymouth as well, not only from a social and personal, but also from an academic perspective as well. So we try to capture everything that you may need to know from your academic studies through your program leaders and your module leaders, but also we know there may be some additional areas that you would like reassurance and help with. So we try and pick that up as part of an international student induction session as well.
That's great. Thank you, Richard. And Gianni, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, just again, something more specific to our school. Apart from meeting your program leader when you during the induction week, similar to the other school, and get an introduction about all the digital tools that we are using to access the timetable, and then have an introduction to the platform that are used by the different programs to share information around the modules. We will also have specific induction to all the different workshops and facility that will be timetable and will be explained across the first part of semester one when you join us. So there will be a bit of that happening as an overall view, and then a more details induction in the first weeks when the program starts.
That's great. Thank you, everyone, for your answers on that. So the next question that I had through that was really good, and just to remind everyone on the call, please feel free to use the Q&A function as well if you have any questions that are additional to the ones you submitted when you registered. Feel free to be putting those while we're talking as well. But another really good question that I had that came through was, how can I best prepare for my studies and get the most out of my study experience? So I appreciate that's quite a big question, considering there's lots of different subjects on the call today. But in general, so yeah, what are good things students can do to pre-prepare before they get here? And what was the second part? Sorry. And and make the most of their time when they're here. So yeah, Richard, do you want to go first?
So I guess it's subject specific. It's very personal to people as well. But if I start with some sort of broad ideas around what potential applicants and students can do to brush up and get ready for their studies in the coming academic year. And then colleagues or anyone can jump in and sort of add or challenge what was said. So the obvious thing is to sort of check the course pages and any information that you get, because in the not too distant future, you should be able to access some of the content online. So it's things like reading lists. What are the sort of textbooks that you may want to sort of acquire or get access via? So what are the sort of readings? Maybe start practicing reading. You know, reading is a skill that needs to be developed. If it's something that you've only been used to reading novels in the past, it's, you know, maybe start looking and developing your skill around that sort of reading and getting familiar with some of the more foundational texts that are available. We wouldn't expect you to know everything, but it's just to sort of maybe just get yourself into that momentum, start to practice a little bit and get familiar with the field of study that you're planning to attend. So another area is to sort of brush up on study skills. So things like refreshing your memory about basic academic writing, referencing, if you have any experience around referencing. Referencing is a skill that needs to be developed and understanding. Myself as a student, it took me about a year to master it, and it's like riding a bike. You can't do it, and then all of a sudden something just clicks and you can. But, you know, just start thinking about those basic academic and study skills, reading, note taking, and making sure that you can sort of re-familiarize yourself. It might have been some time since you had to write an essay, you had to write a report, you had to write a paragraph. In modern days today, just doing any writing at all might have been something that you haven't done for some time. So think about how are you going to note take? Do you need to have a laptop? Are you going to do it in the old-fashioned way with pen and paper, etc.? So think about that stuff. So that sort of leads me on to maybe start to think about organizing in your digital life. Do you need to set up files and structures on your digital devices so that you know where to access information and so on? So from an academic perspective, is some easy things you can start doing and start getting yourself familiar. Obviously, then beyond that, there's things like managing your administration, your accommodation, your finances. One thing which I sort of picked up and I thought was quite an interesting point. I have my own children, etc. Is get used to getting up early, because as young people, getting up early may not be something that you do often. For some people, it's a common routine. But if getting up early and meeting deadlines and being on time is something that isn't something that you've been used to, is to start getting yourself into routine about getting up, getting organized, and being able to turn up to class on time and had your breakfast or something to eat so that your mind is able to function and absorb. So I can see Shabnam's got her hand up, so let me hand over. She's probably got something way more valuable than I had to say.
That was all extremely valuable, and certainly I'm very familiar with some of those issues, also having young people in the house. So I just wanted to add to what Richard said, to talk a little bit about approaches to learning. What we certainly don't expect is everybody to know everything before they come, but to be open and to be ready to take part in class. So what you'll find is that when you get here, there'll be certain expectations in terms of what you will and how you should prepare for your class or your workshops, and to make sure you read all of those. And if you don't understand, not be afraid to ask questions. So there's all kinds of ways to support you. You'll have module leaders. So those are the people in charge of the sort of the smaller parts of the curriculum. You'll have a personal tutor. There are study skills such as the writing cafe and others. There's also our international colleagues, and we're all there to help you. So if you're worried, or you're confused, or you're not quite sure about anything, then do reach out. We're very, very happy to help you and support you and signpost you into the right direction. The other thing is to, which may sound a bit strange, but read your feedback. So students, we are very keen on what we call the feedback circle. So we give you some ideas in class, you do some work, we give you feedback, or we give you indications of how to take that forward. And students often or may forget to actually forget to read the feedback that they have received. So just be open, don't worry, ask questions when you're not sure, and sort of look at the guidelines on how to be prepared for the class. Thank you.
That's great. Gianni, do you want to finish up and add anything in?
Yeah, just well, all very comprehensive. Just something more specific to the art and design. I think it's important you keep maintaining your practice and developing your portfolio. So this is something that you can do everywhere, and you can keep on doing before coming over here. And it will be good to come with that like warm up. So you enter into any subject already with a creative mood and mind. And the same also goes for reading, as Richard was saying, is still something that is useful for an academic degree. And so familiarize with the key reference, reach out to our program leader. They can give you some summer reading, hopefully not too hard, but something that can get you into the key reference or the language that you will have to familiarize when you join the course from a theoretical perspective. And the other thing is stay curious, and get as many inspiration as possible. So keep reading, keep going, watch movie, go to concert, go to theater, and visit the cities. So just get all that you can in terms of inspiration. So when you come over here, you are already into that creative mood that is what we need to when you start a creative programs.
Thank you so much to all our speakers. That was really helpful advice there for you all. There was a lot of questions that came through about some of the aspects that you've kind of briefly mentioned today. You all mentioned the word kind of employability, real world experience, industry engagement. So yeah, I'm going to move on to one more slide, but it would be great if our speakers could, yeah, maybe just talk a little bit more for their schools about the type of examples that students might experience while they're here that can help develop themselves, develop their career potential, their CVs. Yeah, so if anyone wants to start off with anything they want to say about careers and employability, and Wilma, obviously feel free to join in as well if there's anything else to add.
Should I go first this time?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, we offer a broad set of subjects, so each subject is slightly different. The more artistic and creative one, they clearly base on mainly on individual and on people that have developed, they have to develop their own career. We have other subjects like the digital media, the publishing, the graphic design of the architecture, where you will actually work in small company, small business, and then you have or in bigger industry as well. So I think each of the program will have a set of approaches to kind of build up those employability skills and the personal development that is essential for your next stage for your career. In terms of the personal development, most of the program will definitely focus around developing your portfolio, so developing example of the work that then you can show as part of your CV. Some of the program will also offer an optional placement here, so you will be supported in finding a possible company that can host you for 1 year, usually are paid. In other cases, there are short-term internship that sometimes are embedded into some modules or are core part of the program itself. And the university more broadly have the career advisor, and that will also help you having all the right skill to present yourself in the best possible way. So that's are mainly, I think, the key toolkit that we use in our program. There's also modules that have live brief. So as much as we can, we invite people and company and artists to provide a live brief, and then they will be also part of the assessment. So that is another element that will ensure you will stay upskill for the industry you're gonna then join after your study.
That's great. Thank you, Gianni. And yeah, a lot of what you said, although obviously it's specific to your school, does carry on to the other schools. So I can see Shabnam's got her hand up, but yeah, the other schools do live briefs and industry engagement and guest speakers and all those things. Right, Shabnam,
Yeah, I'd just like to add, so one of the things that in terms of moving on, obviously depends on which school and your discipline, etc. But there's actually the issue of how to sell yourself and how to show the skills that you have learnt, and that is communicable to an employer. So one thing that we do have at the University of Plymouth, which we use in our school, is the Plymouth Compass. So those are various attributes that are often sought by employers, and we can work with you to show how you've actually fulfilled a lot of those and use the language based on your experiences in the classroom to make yourself more basically to sell yourself to an employer. So that's part, so you can get that through the career service, but you can also develop that within the curriculum. Thank you.
that's great. And Richard, did you have anything more to add for the business school?
Yes, well, I don't know if there's anything more, but just to sort of say that from a business school perspective, as I said at the outset, our philosophy is very much around developing those skills that are making our graduates workplace ready. And that can be sort of demonstrated through that we have added value qualifications. So a lot of our programs are accredited by the professional bodies from the sector. So our sort of CIPD for HRM, and then you've got TMI for things like our tourism programs and areas within our shipping supply chain and within the business management area. Also, some of the skills that we work and deliver jointly with industry are things around the development of the very fast moving technologies around AI, VR, and AR. So again, we have those shared delivery models with academics and industry practitioners. And quite often we have lots of networking events with industry. So it's an opportunity, and I think as Shabnam and Gianni said, is where you can showcase you as the person and able to network. And that feeds into things like micro internships. And then where appropriate, we have a sort of a sizable network where there opportunities for students to undertake an internship or a placement, should that meet the relevant requirements, but also if that's something that you're looking to do. So again, there's lots of opportunities for employability, skills development. A key perspective and view of the business school is about building you as an holistic person, that you get that you build your confidence as well as your industry relevant skills as well. So again, one of the things I always say at sort of open days is that evidence is that you change your career 5 times in your life, not your job. You change your career 5 times. So again, we need to give you those transferable skills that you may need to help when and if you do decide to move career. I guess it doesn't work the same for everybody, but again, statistics are that people will change their careers 5 times. So we give you those foundational skills, both personal and employability, so that you can move and you can sort of transfer within different sectors. Anyway, I'll stop there.
Thank you ever so much, Richard, and everyone else. So, yeah, Wilma, I will bring you in on the next slide, if that's all right. So we're going to just do the next couple of slides. I'm conscious of time, so we might have to kind of speed through these. But yeah, obviously today it's only for the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Business. So obviously some of these deadlines won't be applicable anyway. But we're going to quickly talk through some deadlines, tuition fees, scholarships, accommodation information for you all. So yeah, Wilma, if I can bring you in for the next bit.
Right. So I think since most of the students here are offer holders, so the first deadline that's applicable to you is the deposit deadline. So if you've not paid your tuition fee deposit, which you can pay if you reach unconditional offer stage, or you can pay it before as well. So there is some flexibility there, but you have to pay that £3,500 tuition fee deposit before the 28th of August, if I'm not mistaken. Now, for some reason, if you want to wait and complete your entire unconditional offer plus credibility checks, if you have any, you can, and then pay your deposit. As a university, we don't charge any additional fee for your CAS. So this is the only amount you will ideally need to pay for your CAS setter. Now, you will see some more deadlines there. There is an early payment deadline as well. So some of you may wish to pay your entire balance fee once you've reached CAS stage. So if you'd like to pay early, you can get an extra £500 discount, basically, over and above any scholarship that you have. Now, most of you already know that we have automatic scholarships now, so this is additional. So if you decide that you would like to pay the remaining balance after you've paid your deposit, then that's the date to remember. That's the 4th of September. 4th of September is also your CAS deadline. So ideally, the admissions office will not look at issuing any further CAS after this particular date, keeping in mind visa processing times, our induction week, orientation week, and your course start dates. So we all know that certain delays can affect your entire orientation and induction. So that's the deadline for CAS issuance. So some of you, if you've already reached unconditional offer stage, you'll start to see the CAS request in your portal. So keep an eye out for that. And that will help you sort of request for your CAS and ensure that your processes are completed well in time. Now, we all know that certain visa delays are, possible because students coming from different countries. So in those cases, for some schools and some subject areas, program leads will be flexible with allowing you to enroll even after a particular course start date. So if you think for some reason that you are going to experience delays because of your visa and your visa applications or any other really genuine issue, you can let Beth and some of the other faculty team members know, or you can email us as well. And what we will do is we will go back to your program leads and then obviously come back with approval for a later start date. This is not standard process, but we do look at each individual case and then obviously decide on a later start date. And since we are talking about the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Business, there is flexibility within this faculty, at least. For other courses, obviously, they have stricter deadlines. So that's about the deadlines. Can we go to the next one? What's the next slide?
Yeah, so the next slide was tuition fees, but you've covered most of that in what you've just spoken about. So I'll move on to the one about accommodation.
Yeah. Since we passed the tuition fee slide as well, make sure you know what your living expenses are when you're applying for your visa. So ensure that you calculate your final balance fee correctly after deducting the £4,000 automatic scholarship. And if you've decided to pay early and avail the early bird discount, you can deduct that as well. And that will give you a broader picture of what balance tuition fee you need, plus your living expense, which is a 9-month living expense that you will have to evidence when you apply for your visa. Speaking of accommodation, we've now listed a lot of the private accommodation also on the website. So we have on-campus halls of residence. Just a disclaimer that a lot of these tend to get booked out very early, and particularly by undergraduate students, because we do offer guaranteed accommodation to students who apply to us via UCAS and who choose Plymouth as their firm choice before the deadline. So I assume a lot of students will do that. But not to worry, there is loads of accommodation available off campus as well. So they have different kinds of accommodation. So you will find halls of residence, you will also find individual flats and shared houses. A lot of master students obviously prefer off-campus accommodation because it gives you some flexibility with price, so they're more cost effective. You will get a better accommodation for a much lower cost than the on-campus accommodation, which tends to be slightly more expensive because there is no sharing. Another disclaimer here. So if you are booking on-campus accommodation, you can't share. So they're all single occupancy rooms, but it will be a part of a larger dorm-like situation. So you'll have 6 to 7 bedrooms on one floor with a common area for your kitchen and living room and so on. So if you don't like to share, you can definitely look at some of the on-campus accommodation. So what you can do once you're on the website, in the accommodation section, if you want to look at private accommodation, there is a box there that says private sector accommodation or living in the private sector. So that's where we have listed up to 14 different properties, and you can click on any of them and it'll take you to the booking page. So it's as simple as that. So you can either do this or you can join some of our Facebook groups. Very soon we will have the 2026 Facebook groups for the university. And that's a really nice space to kind of find other flatmates as well online. So if you want to see where most of the other sort of people are staying, and if you'd like to communicate with them and have some flexibility there, that's also another option. So there's lots of accommodation options available. You can also look up our Students' Union website. It's called UPSU. And they've got some more advice, especially on private accommodation, and also especially for international students who need guarantors. So remember, when you're booking private accommodation, there are two options. So either you pay your accommodation contract in full, but if you want to pay in installments, you will need to look for a guarantor. And a lot of landlords usually have their own preferred guarantors. So the Students' Union website will actually give you that information. And our Students' Union committee also gives a lot of advice on your contracts, and they're sometimes even ready to kind of proofread some contracts for you. So there's a lot of support for you even before you've come to the university. So rest assured, you will have all the support that you need for accommodation.
Thank you so much, Roma. That was really helpful. So yeah, Toon has been putting some links into the chat. So yeah, do take a look at those as people are talking. The only other thing, so we're slightly running out of time, so we've gone over slightly. So I'm just going to kind of go through briefly just student experience. Obviously, Wilma's just mentioned our student union. Some people were asking about sports and student experience and things like that. Do look at that student union website. You'll see loads of student societies and facilities and events that go on that you can get involved with when you're here. We've also got a faculty international Instagram page, of which the handle is on this page and the link to it as well, which we'll circulate afterwards. But that's got some great student advice videos on there. It's got some kind of day in the life reels as well, just to give you a bit of a flavour about what life might be like when you get here. So do take a look at that if you get time. And then just to also mention that our international team are also running some pre-departure sessions. There's going to be a virtual session online on Thursday, the 23rd of July. And also, if you come from either Nigeria or India, do also take a look at these events. You should have also received some information by email, but yeah, if you're interested signing up to any of these events in India or Nigeria, then our colleagues overseas will be running in-country events as well. So yeah, I think as I say, we've gone slightly over time, so I'm conscious of kind of wrapping up here. Just yeah, I was just double checking in the yeah, in the Q&A, but there isn't anything urgent. We will just do one last reminder of our email, which is ahbinternational@plymouth.ac.uk. We'll pop that in the chat. So if there's anything else that we haven't managed to cover today and that you do want to ask, then send us an email. And as I said at the start, we will be going through all those questions that you submitted beforehand as well. So if there's anything that we've not managed to cover in the session today, then we will be replying to you by email as well. So all that leaves me is to say, yeah, thank you ever so much to Wilma as our host and our speakers, Richard, Shabnam and Gianni, and Kieran as well for managing in the background as well as Toon. Yeah, thank you all for your attendance and your time today. We will be circulating the slides and the recording of this session afterwards, so you can kind of watch it back. There's a lot of information to take in. So yeah, we will be circulating that afterwards. So thank you ever so much to everyone for your time, and I wish you all a pleasant rest of your days. And we hope to see you in Plymouth in September. So thank you ever so much. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.